Hello buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Garth and today we're playing the Murder Hotel. Last time we came up with a theory that maybe Wilhelmine lost in court. What did it just say? May sought revenge for being humiliated in court by Gerard. And maybe somehow Elspeth got caught up in that as well. Maybe there's two murderers. So we're going to ask her about that now. Let's do it. So, who are you? Who was murdered? Do we need to ask those? Probably not. Theorize. Do you have a solution for Elspeth's locked room that involves another person besides Wiki? Okay. Nobody can currently deny that it's possible. Nobody can currently deny that it's possible for a 16th person. Okay, this is a different question. I guess that's just a theory that we have, that we got to try and prove it. The key in Elspeth's room has no number label, and Clara claims that it belongs to Elspeth's door. It's impossible for a human to enter. Not this. Nobody can currently deny that it's possible for a 16th person to have been hiding under the bed. Okay. Yes, how about an unknown 16th person currently hiding in the hotel?
A 16th person? Really? That's what you came up with?
Well yes, after all, I just got here today. It's not that unlikely.
But that's bullshit.
No, Ilmarinen has a valid point. If Wiki could hide under the bed, then so could a completely unknown person. This hotel is not a closed box as it seemed at first.
Listen, using a random unknown person is stupid. It's like completely anticlimactic.
Life is not a movie, Chris. Or do you want to tell me you have a better idea?
I actually do. The screenwriters I work with don't reveal the mystery of the murders until we're shooting, so I'm always guessing the explanation before it's revealed. So I thought about this hotel double murder as if it were one of my episodes. And then I came up with the super cool theory.
Please share your theory with us, I'm very intrigued now. Same thing, though I bet it's a lame solution.
Lame? You're just jealous that my brain actually works. Okay, here it goes. Elspeth's door was never actually locked.
Well, I'm not sure how to respond.
Why not?
I fear you need to elaborate on this. How would that even work?
Well, did Marin ever do any checking for himself that the door was locked?
Yes. No, wait, that was Ishmael. I didn't try because his anger sounded very convincing as he rattled on the doorknob.
There you have it. He pretended the door was locked.
I remember him saying that the master key didn't make a full turn now that you mention it. Maybe there's actually a room for that theory. Ishmael said that he didn't have to make a full turn with the key to open the door. Wait, he lunged at Elspeth's door twice and it didn't look like he was holding back. Interesting. A famous rugby player like him should be able to force a door open. Chris, Marin, I have to leave for a moment. Please excuse me. And don't do anything naughty while I'm leaving you two alone. We're in the middle of a murder investigation. I don't think you need to worry about that.
What are you up to?
Where's she going? Wait a minute, did she just lock the door?
Oh no, Mimi, don't tell me you...
I admit that was not very ladylike.
Mimi, that was so reckless. You could have been hurt.
It's alright, I'm worried about Roberto's wrath when he sees that I did damage to the hotel's property. I'll have to apologise to him sincerely. Maybe he'll understand that it was necessary. Right, Marin? Oh, he could have knocked the door down, because he's a rugby player. Marin? What was that? What's this strength? It's the result of a healthy, protein-rich diet followed by a rigorous workout regime. You're kidding me. I am not. But don't think too highly of me. I'd probably still lose to a man like Ishmael in raw physical prowess. Biology is sometimes unfair. Is sometimes unfair in certain regards. Anyway, let's focus on what I want to point out instead. I cannot confirm whether Elspeth's door and mine are made the same way, but it should be technically possible for Ishmael to ram a hotel door open. Also, doing so with force will visibly damage the lock, rendering it useless. I'm afraid I won't be able to sleep in peace anymore. Even if it doesn't prove anything directly, I hope you'll be able to put this information to good use, Marin. I will. Thank you very much. Both of you.
You're welcome, but you better use my idea for a crazy theory.
Best of luck hunting. What? Did I get a clue then? Okay. Clara could have stolen security information and Elspeth may have stumbled upon these papers. How was Ilmarinen poisoned? Elspeth's door could have been unlocked the whole time. Okay. Is the location of Elspeth's room well known? Is there any way the culprit could have entered the room with no key at all? Is there any way the culprit could have entered the room without having the room key? To which door belonged... okay. How did the culprit open Elspeth's door? Are you going to say something different now? You mean, how is it possible? Yeah, we've seen this. Yeah, we've seen this already. Hang on. Timeline. Ishmael. We don't know anything about Ishmael. Okay. We can't find Ishmael either. Okay. Lie about your alibi. Lie about your motive. Can we not go into any other room? We can go to Gerard's room. Oh, hello. Ah, okay, we got you. Hiya. This is Wiki. Talk to Wiki.
Ishmael, I have a request. Can you untie my hands while I'm answering Ilmarinen's questions? I need them to express myself when I speak.
Fine, but I'll tie them up again when he's finished.
That's okay, thank you.
Marion, be careful. If she tries anything, just yell, okay? I will. Thank you, Ishmael. Now if you'll excuse me. Okay.
I'm in a lot of trouble, huh? Luckily I still have my absolute proof that I'm innocent, so it's all worth seeing Clara's surprised face later.
Wait, really? You have proof that you're innocent?
I'll tell you, but you have to come closer. I'll whisper it to you, Marin. Stab. You're dead.
Are you kidding? Huh?
Marin, are you stupid? I'm the prime suspect in a murder. Those idiots didn't take my hairpin, which can be used as a weapon in a pinch. If I really were the culprit, I'd have stabbed you now as a revenge for insulting me back then. How am I supposed to survive if my only hope is the third-rate amateur detective?
Third-rate amateur detective? What the hell is wrong with you? I did not choose to be a detective.
Well, that's not my problem. You are one now and you have to deal with it. So you better get to work and find a way to prove my innocence.
And why should I? Judging by what's happened so far, the only logical explanation is that you were the culprit.
Man, we both know who the real culprit is. If you really think I did it, there's no chance in hell you'll succeed.
Enough with this kind of talk. I just wanted to interrogate you.
I refuse. You must first bring me something from the kitchen. I'm hungry now.
Bring you something? What am I, a courier?
Well, some pilots are couriers, so it's not that unusual. Anyway, get me a carrot from the kitchen pantry and I'll answer anything you want.
A carrot?
Yes, a carrot. Now hurry, you only have a limited amount of time.
I can't believe this. What's wrong with you? Okay, I guess we're getting a carrot. You better not end up being dead. Let's speak to Ishmael. Where were you before the crime? Have you forgotten? We played the board game with Gerard and Sasha. Right. And after that? Well, let me think. I was, Didn't you lose and have to do some kind of punishment? I don't like you being smug about it, but you're right. I had to help Uwe in the kitchen. I see. And how did you help him? I chopped some pumpkins for his soup, and I was in charge of making the muffins for him. Did you also make the one that poisoned me? What's wrong with you? I never do such a low thing as poison someone. Besides, there were other people who could have tampered with the muffins, Clara for example. She was also in the kitchen to talk to Uwe for a moment. Right, I remember when we first met. She said she was meeting Uwe to say she'd be there for dinner. So Clara could technically have poisoned Elspeth's muffin. Yes, but we knew that anyway, didn't we? What else can we ask you? How, we did that one. How did the culprit open Elspeth's door? Where were you during the crime? Well, in my room, but before that I was in the bar with others. With who, and until when? At first, maybe until midnight, Sasha and Sarah had a couple of drinks and I was just waiting for Gerard's return. But then the exhaustion got to me and I decided to rest in my room. Then I relaxed for a while until I decided to make one last visit to the bar to see if Gerard was back. And then I was leaving my room, your screams caught my attention, and you know what happened next. So you have no alibi for the time when the murder happened? Technically no, but that doesn't mean I did it. What else? Who do you think the culprit was? I guess you think it's Wiki, don't you? And what do you make of this whole situation? Two dead people in two different locked rooms, it's all messed up. But while I was waiting in the bar for Gerard, I had some time to think. Wiki said you were allergic to something in the muffin, so I kept wondering what that thing could have been. Now that I know it was poison, that makes it even worse. Like, did I mess up while making the muffins? Marion, you better tell me. Can you prove that poison was actually used on one of the muffins? Apart from Uwe, Elspeth, Clara and Ishmael, there was no one else in the kitchen. Clara could have poisoned the muffin. Nope. Or Uwe wrote a note and didn't pay attention to the muffins. No I can't. Maybe I can find something that explains it. Okay, let's go to the kitchen. Where is the kitchen? Can you remember where to get to the kitchen? Where is it? Who is the kitchen? What is a kitchen? Where is a kitchen? It's not that way. Bathroom. Where is this kitchen? Oh, is it downstairs? More downstairs. More downstairs. Yeah, I feel like it's this way. That's right. Kitchen, 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 kitchen. Staff only. Uh-oh. You know, I need a map here, don't I? Where is the kitchen? It's not downstairs. For sure. I could have sworn this felt like it was leading me to a kitchen. But it wasn't. So where is the kitchen? Nope. Okay. Take me to the kitchen. Okay. On the ground floor. Bathroom. Laundry. Hotelier office. Infirmary. Obviously it's not this way. Toilet. Lounge. Dining room, there we go. Any clues over here? There's a clue over here. What's this clue? It's the plate where the muffins were on. I wonder if any of the other muffins were poisoned. No, wait. Wiki and Gerard said everyone else was fine. So it means only one muffin must have been poisoned. No more than one muffin was poisoned. Anyone in here? Hello? Investigate that. Or pantry. Okay. So, investigate. It looks like I found some carrots. Do I really reward Wiki's annoying behaviour by bringing her one? Can't be helped. I needed to cooperate with me. Carrot acquired. Okay, what's in here? What have we got here? The contents look like white sugar, but something tells me this item couldn't be near edible food. Arsenic trioxide powder. An inexpensive and effective rat poison. Keep away from children. There you have it, the poison that was put on Elspeth's muffin. It was right here in the storage room. I guess I better hold on to it. Okay. There's a cake. So I've got a carrot. Good news, people, I've got a carrot. What's this? On this black cutting board, it feels like there are some lines of text carved into it. It's indecipherable. Maybe if I had some kind of white powder that I could use. Oh, right, I have this bottle of arsenic poison powder with me. Is that really a good idea? Maybe salt or sugar is more logical approach. Maybe salt or sugar is the more logical approach. Whatever. We don't have time. Let's use the arsenic, but I should be very careful. If any demons currently watching me, do not repeat this at home. Let's see, there's a message now. Young Marin, were your sorrows a reflection of your soul, or were they merely an act? Show me the evidence of your honest melancholy. Put the powder on the hint. What does that mean? Show me the evidence of your honest melancholy. What sorrow is it referring to? Something that could have been an act. Apart from Uwe, Elspeth, no more than one muffin. There was a bottle with arsenic poison in the pantry. Apart from Uwe, no one else is in the kitchen. Poison looks like powdered sugar. No more than one muffin was poisoned. There was a bottle with arsenic poison in the kitchen pantry. What could have been an act? I don't know. No more than one muffin was poisoned. I don't know, this? How about this? Nothing happens. Damn it. Now I have to put all the powder back into the bottle somehow. This will take some time. Oh man. Okay. Let's ignore that for now. Let's go give a carrot to Wiki. I got the carrot. Okay. Hiya. How's it going, Clara? I think you're the murderer. I'm getting closer to getting all my clues. Still a bunch to get. Hello? Here, Wiki, the airmail has arrived.
Huh? What? Golotty. Yummy!
A carrot.
Thank you. This carrot's given me courage. I'll do anything for you now.
Just answer some of my questions. That'll do fine.
Alright, Marin. No matter how stupid the questions are, I'll take 1 full minute to answer each one.
That's great. That's what I wanted to hear. Wait, isn't that a drawback? Okay. So, how did the culprit open Wiki's door? Okay. Tell me this. How did the culprit open Wiki's door?
Well, the culprit had to get Gerard into my room somehow. But how, when I had the key with me all the time and Roberto had the master key? Well, it'd be easier to explain if the room where you found Gerard was his own. Does anyone know for sure where Gerard's room is? If the number nameless doesn't exist?
Well, I'm not sure.
In other words, no one can confirm that it's my room where Gerard's body was found. You better use this one. You better use this one.
Okay. How did the culprit open Elspeth's door?
I doubt the culprit opened the door by himself. Elspeth probably let the culprit in on her own, as the culprit forced his way in after Elspeth opened the door. How the culprit left is the more interesting question. Sadly, you can't ask that.
Hey, I can ask what I want. Where were you before the crime?
You should know best. I was with Gerard and you in the infirmary after dinner. That is from 10 until 2. And before dinner I took a nap in the library.
Did you go anywhere else, like visiting Uwe in the kitchen?
No, I never went near the kitchen that day.
I see. Okay. Who do you think the culprit was?
The culprit is the one who murdered the victims.
I know that. Please be more please be more specific.
Just ask who murdered the victims and I'll tell you.
Are you fucking kidding me? Who? Who did the victims murder? Who did the culprit murder the victims? No. Okay. Oh, I forgot these. What could the culprit do to confuse us? Can we rule out Elspeth or Gerard murder each other? Could 2 rooms have been confused? What could the culprit do to confuse us? Is the location of Wiki's room known? Is the location of Elspeth's room well known? How long does the poison usually take to take effect? Who did the victims... Who did the culprit murder? Who did the culprit murder? The names are Elspeth Douglas and Gerard Perigord. Oh, Elspeth. She's the hotel bellhop. You seem to get along pretty well during dinner. Yes, we did. She was kind of nice and funny. Whatever. Sorry, let's talk about Gerard. I believe he was your friend. Sort of. We just met today, though we also got along pretty well. What do you think? Did he have any enemies? Well, he briefly mentioned something about having humiliated Wilhelmine in court in the past. If you ever come up with a theory about Wilhelmine's involvement, use that as a reason, trust me. Oh, okay. Theorize. Got a theory what happened, or anything that will help me prove your innocence? Well, I'm mostly interested in how Elspeth was murdered, since I couldn't check the crime scene. How did you investigate what exactly happened the moment you unlocked the door? Well, Ishmael took the master key from Roberto and unlocked the room. Then Gasfinger decided that Clara and I should investigate. The others stood outside and waited. Okay, what's next? Well, we found Elspeth's dead body. She was stabbed, probably with Gasfinger's scissors. What about the key? Oh, right. We were searching the room together and I found a room key inside a drawer beside the bed. We could lock and unlock Elspeth's door with it. I see. Was there anything that you deemed strange in Elspeth's room? That is interesting. Oh, okay, so it's saying that I pretended to find it in the room. That's interesting. It's impossible for a human to enter Elspeth's room from Wilhelmine's bathroom. This could have been unlocked the whole time? That's not what I wanted to hear. Wasn't there anything else that was weird? Oh, god damn it. Okay. Had no number label. Only Clara claims that it belongs to Elspeth. Oops. Ignore that. Anything strange? This? Well, the key we found did not have a number tag on it. Why would Elspeth remove it? Marion, what do you think of me? Huh? Why the sudden question? Do you trust me? Well, on the one hand, you act really weird sometimes, but on the other hand, you saved my life, so I guess, yeah. Are you willing to blame someone else for a crime even if they might be innocent? Normally I'd say no, but this is an extraordinary situation. I am willing. Just tell me, why are you asking me these things? I just want to make sure that you don't waste the little gift I'm about to give you. Anyway, here it is. I'm going to share this theory with you. It may be that the key you found in Elspeth's room was not Elspeth's room key. It's possible that the key was found in... Yes, okay. But I gave it to Clara to test. That's the problem. I suppose she turned around so you didn't have a full, unobstructed view of the key, did you? Yeah, she did turn around. You see, this little mistake of hers will cost her dearly. Make this attack count, Marin. I will. Thank you, Wiki. You just became my favourite Viking girl. Thanks, I guess. How many Vikings do you even know? Okay. Where were you during the crime? We know that you were asleep. At the time of the crime, I was asleep in the library. Is there anyone else who can confirm this? Unfortunately, no. Roberto was already in the bar, so the library was completely empty. Please be honest, did you hide under Elspeth's bed? Of course not. I'd be covered in dust. Who are you? Is it worth asking that? I may as well. I've got a couple of questions that are... Like, look at all... Look! Are these genuine different questions I could ask? Because that's insane. I've only unlocked the basics. Who are you? I'm Wiki Hagen. 24 years young and from Norway. I'm a medical student and a modern-day Viking. I have blood type B. I'm left-handed, I'm single, and I was born on February 29th. However, unless it's a leap year, I don't celebrate my birthday. That means I'm still technically a minor. Crazy, right? Also, my personal deity is Loki, but you already know that. My favourite food is... enough. Thank you. Hey, did your mother ever tell you to interrupt a lady? I see no lady, just a loud Viking. Helvate.
Watch your language or you'll be solving your own death next.
So we've done all these. Is there something that I could ask? How did murder? How did the culprit murder the victims?
Sadly, I couldn't take a look at Elspeth's body and only briefly gazed at Gerard's, but I heard they were both stabbed. If I actually was the culprit, I'd have simply used the arsenic poison again, and maybe slipped a bit of it into the last round of drinks. Usually arsenic trioxide in a moderate dose takes a while to work, usually about 30 minutes, and in rare cases up to 2 hours. No need to stab her.
That's good to know. So that's... But then, why did I react so quickly?
She'd have died in agony alone in a room. Peter shows symptoms right after eating the poisoned muffin is extremely rare.
I don't like the look on your face when you say that. Interesting. Am I the murderer? Let's talk to Ishmael outside, I guess. Hi, buddy. What have we got here? Found some proof that poison was actually used on one of the muffins. Okay. There was a bottle of arsenic in the kitchen pantry. You know, I actually found the bottle of arsenic powder in the kitchen pantry. It looks a lot like sugar or flour, so I'm pretty sure it was used on the muffin I ate. I see, so you couldn't have just pretended to be poisoned, could you? Pretended, Ishmael. I vomited blood and almost died. Hey, yeah, I get it. Chill out. Okay. Who did the culprit murder? Who was the culprit? How did the culprit murder the victims? How did the culprit open Wiki's door? I've got 28. It might be pointless to ask. Let's see. Who are you? This is a serious question. Have you forgotten that we already have spoken? No, I'm just gathering information on everyone. Well, good. My name's Ishmael Asmanoglu. I'm a rugby player from Turkey and I'm 24 years old. Is there anything else you need to know? I think that'll probably be enough for now. How did the culprit open Elspeth's door? Let me think. Oh, I have an idea. What if the culprit stole the master key from Roberto and carefully put it back after the crime? The master key could have been stolen from Roberto. I'll make a note of it. How did the culprit open Wiki's door? Wiki used her own key, I'd say. But what if she's not the culprit? That's almost impossible. How else could Gerard's body have ended up in her room? I'm trying to figure this out. How did the culprit murder the victims? It's a stabbing. Beats me. Sorry, I'm not that helpful when it comes to these kinds of questions. Oh, god damn it. You're useless. Who was the culprit? Wasn't it Wiki? We don't know for sure yet. Well, I think it was Wiki. I can't think of anyone else, honestly. Clara's theory made perfect sense. Who did the culprit murder? You're useless, Ishmael, aren't you? They're Elspeth and Gerard. Anything else you can tell me? Oh, sure. Sorry, it's not easy to talk about. I understand that, but I have to solve this case, so I need as much information as possible. Well, about Gerard, he has grown on me as a friend in the last few days, a little overconfident, but not too annoying. Besides, he was a lawyer. There couldn't have been a better job for him. As for Elspeth, I don't know much about her, to be honest, except that she's from Scotland. And you and Elspeth didn't get along very well, did you? She was a walking disaster. After she cleaned my room, my wallet randomly disappeared, and today she spilled hot soup on me. But listen, Marin, I've forgiven men who have done far worse to me, so don't think I'd go as far as to murder someone over these little annoyances. Don't worry, I didn't mean to imply that. good, but I'd still appreciate if you could see if you can find my stolen wallet somewhere. Well, I guess I could try. That'd be great, pal. Ah, stolen wallet somewhere. Where would the stolen wallet be? Can I ask about... No, it's Elspeth, isn't it? No. Okay. What could the culprit do to confuse us? Are the victims currently in the same place where they were murdered? Where was the victims? Where were the victims? I first said something stupid. Okay, that's wrong. Are the victims currently in the same place they were murdered? What could the culprit do to confuse us? Can we rule out that Elspeth or Gerard committed suicide? But how can I... Okay, let's leave here. Look in here again. Can't interact with anything. Nothing in the bathroom. Nope. Just seeing if there's any secrets. Doesn't seem to be. Just step all over her. Maybe I should try this again, I don't know. What does it say again? Pure friendship that could have blossomed into love, guarding against evil slander. My thorns reveal the ugly truth. Leave the clue here and get out of the room. A pure friendship. Okay. Elspeth and Ilmarinen liked each other. Oh. I suppose it refers to the fact that Elspeth and I have flirted a bit. I wouldn't call it pure friendship, nor would I call it love, but I guess that's what it is. I'll leave the note here and leave the room for a moment. So, are we suggesting that Gerard killed? No. Note did not say how long I should leave, but not waste too much time on it. Hello. Hey, what are you doing in my room?
What?
She's gone? Oh, she looked like the girl on the cover of Hayden Roslin. Hey, if you can still hear me, I'm sorry for yelling. I thought you were a burglar. Looks like she wrote something over the old clue. Those are some nasty things about Elspeth. There's no way I could say that out loud. I think I'll rephrase it a bit. The culprit murdered Elspeth because she rejected his feelings, and Gerard had to die because he witnessed it. This should be much better. Still, thanks for the hint, Heidi. I would never do that. Ask a question. I want to ask about the key. What could the culprit do to confuse us? Is there any way the culprit could have entered the room with no key at all? There's a location to Elspeth's room. Okay. How the culprit opened Elspeth's door? Well, I had the master key with me at all times, so they couldn't use it. Maybe the lock on the door was picked. Very unlikely if you ask me.
Why do you say that?
Lockpicking is not as easy as you see in the movies. You need tools and experience.
I still do not hear that it's impossible.
Well, it's technically possible, I suppose. Okay. What else can we ask? How did the culprit open Wiki's door? Okay.
You know my opinion about this matter.
Oh, okay. That was a waste of time. How did they murder the victims?
Well, someone actively murdered Elspeth and Gerard from what I have seen so far.
Unfortunately, I can't add anything to this conversation since I didn't get to see the bodies myself. Maybe it's for the best. Were they really stabbed, as Clara said? Yes, they both had a huge wound around the chest and were lying covered in blood. Okay. We've asked Yui all the questions we can. Now what? Hi guys. How do the culprits murder the victims? For that, we'd have to have seen the bodies. During Clara and Wiki's confrontation, she said they were stabbed. Is this true, Marin? Well, yes. I guess I'm answering my own question for you now. In that case, I'm kind of wondering what weapon was used, where it was disposed of. Probably tossed out the window. Or if it's a small object, maybe the blood was washed away in the sink. Sadly, we can't say anything for sure. What sink indeed. Can't go in there. We can't, there's nothing in here for you. Nope. 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 Okay. Can we rule out them murdering each other? The culprit murdered Elspeth because she rejected his feelings. All these purple ones seem to point to me, don't they? Ilmarinen only pretended to find Elspeth's room key in the bedside table. He had it with him the whole time. Is the location of Elspeth's room well known? Wiki gave Ilmarinen her room key instead of the infirmary key. Yeah, okay. What could the culprit do to confuse us? Could the two rooms be confused? Okay. Launch. Hey, we go sink. There's a golden chalice. Wait, did someone write their finger on the mirror behind it? Your alibi. It's not watertight, let it drown in the goblet. My alibi? What does that mean? Has no airtight alibi, so based on that alone, she could be the culprit. Okay, Uwe would never murder Elspeth. It's impossible for Christina to bring a towel from her own room and also murder two people during that time. I guess... this? Nothing happened except the clue is wet and I lost 1 minute. Great. Okay, not that. It's not watertight, let it drown in the goblet. Ishmael could have done it. Nothing happened? Okay, that's annoying. It's not watertight, let it drown in the goblet. Is it gonna be I've got to do mine? What happens if I do mine? I guess my inability to murder anyone because I was poisoned must be my alibi. I hope I'm not making an extremely stupid mistake. Alright, I'll drown this clue in the goblet. Huh? It changed from red to purple. But there's no text on it. I've really destroyed my alibi. If someone points a finger at me, I won't be able to defend myself. Oh man, okay. Interesting. Sometimes we must embrace our demise. Not with fear, but with open arms. It's easy for you to say, you're not in my shoes. Wait, who are you now? Oh, I am Thule, former king until the passing of my legacy, now just a mere minion. Take the drowned clue and protect it with all your might. It is your most precious possession. I must go now. The jester is still after us. Good luck. And he's gone. I should accept that I will drown in guilt. How does that work with the clue I used? I was in no condition to murder anyone during that time. That is What if I were actually able to do it? If I just pretended to be weak after Wiki saved my life, I probably could have committed those murders. Oh look, the purple clue now has text on it. Interesting. Hotelier. So can I just interact? Are you prepared to face the trial? I'll be able to solve the case if you didn't collect enough scissor hints. Okay, nope. Fine, but beware, as you're only 16 minutes left. Okay, 16 minutes left is not long. 16 things I can interact with. Can't interact with you. Lounge. Nope. Nope. I don't really want to go down for it myself. Entry hall. It's not going to let me go out. Dining hall. Anything else over here? Any people? Nope. Okay. Lounge, library, bar. Anything in the bar? Nope. Empty bar. Anything in the toilet? Nope. Nope. Okay. Got 8 more snippets to find. I can't get into this bathroom. Okay. Roberto's room. No more. Can't theorize with them. I don't think there's anybody else here. I can't open rooms. Nope. Can't theorize with you. Any more questions? Nope. How was Elspeth's door opened by the culprit? Have I asked this already? Well, I have the master key with me at all times so they couldn't use it. Yeah, we've done that already. Very unlikely if you ask me. It's gone up to 50 though. Or was it already on 50? I think it was already on 50. Yep, is technically possible. Dead body. We don't have a murder weapon. We'll have a little talk to Wiki again, I guess. Any more questions for you? No. Hiya, love. Nope, we've asked everything. Where? What about where did the culprit murder the victims? Maybe? We can assume that the bodies were murdered where they were found. What about the blood we saw on Elspeth's door? Good point.
It could mean that one of the victims was murdered in the hallway and then dragged off.
Yay, we got another one.
Probably Gerard's body, but even then, that wouldn't explain any of the locked rooms in this case.
What else can we ask? Can we rule out Elspeth or Gerard murdering each other? How did the culprit murder the victims? No. How could the victims... Ricky's door? How did the victim open Wiki's door? Oh, that looks like it's lit up, so is that a good thing?
I don't know who opened my door or how. It shouldn't be possible. Unless, of course, the door that was open wasn't my room but Gerard's. Unfortunately, no one has visited me yet. No one has visited me yet. That means that no one can confirm that it's my room where Gerard's body was found.
Except for Wiki, no one can confirm that it was really Wiki's room where Gerard's body was found. Okay. Got another thing, at least. How did the culprit open... Okay, that's a question we already have. During the crime. That doesn't help me. How did the culprit open the victims? Wiki's door, Elspeth's door. I've done both of those. Okay. This is helpful, having that little light bulb that I've not noticed until now. Where was culprit before the crime? That's a new question. Where's the culprit before the crime?
Wandering around the hotel, I suppose. Though he did have to visit the kitchen at least once to put the arsenic powder in Elspeth's muffin. That reminds me, I never went near the kitchen that day.
It's not a new thing, though. Where was the culprit before the crime? During the crime? Interesting question.
During the crime? Well, there are a few things I can say for sure. The culprit must have entered Elspeth's room. There's no way around it. But as for my room, I've no idea how he entered it and placed Gerard's body there. Unless, of course, the room where Gerard was found wasn't my room. Who knows?
That didn't help me. Okay. It's a shame that I've only just found this new way of working out whether questions work this late in the game. Where did you open? No. Where did you murder the victims?
Look, I've done some things in my life and I'm not very proud of, but murder is not one of them. So drop this idea. It's just a waste of time, well, mostly yours.
Okay. How was Elspeth's door the culprit? How was... Could two rooms have been confused? How was Elspeth's door How was Wiki's door Where was Wiki's door before the crime? During the crime? Nope. Who? How? Oh! What? How? How was Wiki's door before the crime? Okay. How was Wiki's door opened by you during the crime, before the crime? How was Wiki's door opened? How was Wiki's door open? How was the culprit? That's not a question from what I can tell. That's a new question. How was Wiki's door opened by you?
With a key. Come on, ask something better.
Oh, God damn it. I think we're going to just run out of time. Maybe I should ask... It wants me to ask something better? What could the culprit do to confuse us? How did the culprit open the victims? Open you. How was the culprit the victim? Oh, essentially what I want to say is, was the culprit the victim? How was the culprit? Oh, what about how was the how were the victims the culprit? Who were the victims the culprit? Who were the victims murdered by the culprit? I mean, that is a question that's legit, but okay. What about this groovy gang of theorists? Okay, where was the culprit before the crime? Where did you murder the victims? How was Wiki's door opened by you? What was the culprit during the crime? Where did the culprit murder the victims? Let's ask this. Probably in the rooms where we found them. Do you really think the culprit could have murdered them somewhere else and dragged them into those rooms? It's at least possible. Okay. Where was the culprit during the crime? How was Wiki's door opened by you? Where did you murder the victims? Where was the culprit before the crime? I don't know. You should probably ask everyone for their alibi. And narrow it down to the ones who don't have one. Clara, I mean, I've asked everybody for their alibi. I don't have an alibi. Uwe doesn't have an alibi. Ishmael. Wiki doesn't have an alibi. Wilhelmine. Christina. What could the culprit do to confuse us? Is the location of Elspeth's room well known? Can we rule out that Elspeth committed suicide? Where? Who did the culprit murder? You? Elspeth's door. The victims. Where did the victims? Where did the victims murder the culprit? Where did the victims open Wiki's door? How did the victim open Wiki's door? I guess we've asked that already. How did the victims murder? I just want to say, did the victims murder the... Where did you murder the victims? How was Wiki's door opened by you? How were the victims... How was something the victims? How were the victims you? How were the victims the culprit? How was the culprit the victims? I mean, is that a legit question to ask? No, but I'll try anyway. I fear I've said something stupid. Oh man, this is annoying. Okay. Who was the culprit during the crime? Before the crime? How was the culprit? How was he? How was the culprit opened by? Opened by you. Victims. How was Elspeth's door opened by the victims? No, Wiki's door. How was it opened by the victims? Culprit. You. Okay. How were you opened by Wiki's door? Where was the culprit? I'm coming up blank here. How do I do this? Let's have a look. Can we rule out that? How would we do that? How would we do that? Who are you? How was Wiki's door opened by you? How did the victims open Wiki's door? Maybe he knows the answer? I'm not sure. Elspeth has this master key only during the room service. The rest of the time the key is with Roberto. Elspeth was in her own room, right? She probably used her own key. Oops. But don't ask me how Gerard ended up in Wiki's room. I mean, the answer is that this isn't Wiki's room. But how can we test that? You know what? I've been doing this for an hour. Let's take a break. And for now, we'll come back and I guess we'll find out next time how I'm going to solve this murder. Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Murder Hotel. And I'll see you next time. Have a good evening, if I can talk. And I will see you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.